Alex, you get story. Jonathan, you get plot. Ethan, you get characters. And listen, Alex, I need you to remember to look pretty, alright? You're the face of the team, alright? 1, 2, 3, break!
Hey everybody, I'm Ethan.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Jonathan.
And I'm John. And today we're here to bring you a review of the new football drama, When the Game Stands Tall. But first of all, I just want to say before we start, we have shirts now.
Look at us.
That we wear to places.
We're so cool all of a suddenly.
There are uniforms. Jonathan, where'd you order them again?
Low Gear. It's a business in Tampa. They do a great job with shirts. Alex is gonna go and get us the logo.
Yeah.
Complimentary shirt for us.
Yeah.
Guys should definitely check them out. Just look up lowgear.com. It'll pop up right up. Lowgearprinting.com.
So just check them out if you're in the market for that type of thing.
Rocky was the first football movie out there.
Except without football.
Without football.
Without football.
But like, it was
I
that
see what you
first formula, you know. It's the he's all like good at everything, whatever. And then he falls back and he needs to triumph over an adversary, and he shows about the training and the build-up, and then finally he beats his adversary.
So that's what we were all expecting going into this, and I think that's what we got, but not actually quite as good as most other formulaic football.
Yeah, a very subpar football.
I think the issue with this was the fact that the only sports movie this director's done was basketball movie. He just doesn't know how to direct a football movie.
Space Jam?
Yeah, basketball movies have...
No, it was Coach Carter with Samuel L. Jackson back in 2006.
That was actually a pretty good movie.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know what went wrong there.
That was well, the thing is, football and basketball movies, they have different kind of feels to them.
Like Space Jam.
Ethan. Because, like, the sports, I guess, have kind of different morals behind them. The sports, I think, are, in our country, America has a very, like, moral-driven sports base.
Yeah, like well, I don't know if it's sports, but brotherhood, and we're all one unit.
Yeah.
We're a family.
The underlying theme of this movie is that these kids all have different struggles going on in their lives. They're all fighting their own battles, and they all come together through football, and that's how they, persevere, and they all support each other.
Like self-redemption.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
And I think it honestly only sort of succeeds with that. Telling all their
I
stories.
think that was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
How well the team worked together, despite the troubles in their own life.
Yeah, they all came together through football.
Right, and I thought that was something really nice to see.
Which, that reminds me of another football. What was that really good football movie with this one guy? He was huge, and
The Blind Side.
That was a really good movie.
Right?
That was, yes.
Right.
This movie fails the most is the script. It's not as strong as previous football movies such as Remember the Titans or The Blind Side, which The Blind Side was based off a true story, so you can't make that as an excuse.
Even though this movie was based on a true story as well.
Yeah.
Aren't most of them?
I mean,
Right.
Well, they say that, but I mean, I'm sure a lot of football teams have, all had people who think bad things happen to them, and then they won some games and got happy.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you, Jonathan, though, about the script. It is, a lot of times, pretty sort of disjointed. I think we all agreed it was paced kind of poorly.
Right.
At one point, it's all, you think it's going to be the last game. It's a big setup. They're wondering if they're going to break their win streak or not.
Right.
And then it all happens, and then, the movie just keeps going.
Yeah, when it ends, you're left in a sense of, oh, wow, that happened and it was pretty good.
And that was a good movie. And then oh wait, there's more
There's
more
at least
movie.
15 to 20 minutes left, and you're just like, wow, this isn't as good, and I want to go home now.
There's a second final game.
Yeah.
There's a first and second final game.
Which I don't understand why they wouldn't hype up the very final game, except they hyped up the second to last final game.
Yeah,
it was
that was a little...
So the pacing with that was really weird.
I actually didn't notice that just because I was just...
Because you fell asleep?
Yeah?
No, I didn't fall asleep. The whole movie was kind of...
Right now, I felt like this movie was done by two different directors. The beginning and the end was done by one, and then
all the football action
and all the
scenes.
football action scenes were directed by another person. Because what this movie does have going for it is that this has excellent
sequences
of football action.
Yeah, it really like grabs a hold on you, and it'll take you for a ride in a football experience.
Oh
It
yeah,
really
if
does.
you want to see some awesome plays, like watch
Watch
this movie or watch any football movie really, but this movie
It does a very good job of it.
does definitely.
Definitely has those plays that make you go, whoa.
And there are some pretty hard hits in the movie as well, where you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where you're
There's
like,
a lot of
oh man,
there's a lot of crunching sounds.
it's like football.
Like
Oh, yeah.
bones crunching.
It was
Exactly.
it was really nice though because
You like the crunch?
well no I mean the seeing it in the theater was really nice because the audience's
like levels of like excitement
Yeah,
grew
that-
with every moment in a game.
definitely and it also added to the experience when there was a lady in front of me to the right at one point like one of the main guys in the football team, I forgot what the team was called, but he just runs right into someone else. The guy hits the
He
floor.
just demolishes him.
The person in front of me just yelled, "Sit down, boy!" and got up and like just
Oh,
that
yes.
was oh my god.
All I can say is that sack. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's,
that
just there's just a level of excitement that really is amazing
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the movie. And there's such a level of excitement in the second to last football game,
The first final game.
the first final game.
Yeah.
But then you wanted that excitement in the last game.
one, but
And-
And by then, I think you were kind of spent.
Right.
You'd given all your excitement to the first.
Well, not
final
only
game.
it just wasn't as entertaining. The action felt a lot slower in the final game. Than
yeah,
it
the
was.
final game was
the
here's
second
what I
final
think.
game.
The second
The
final.
second final game.
I think because you knew they were going to win.
It's
Yeah.
I kind of think the second final game was like, okay, now they went and they beat the best of the best. Now they're going, and this is just a normal average game. Like,
Yeah.
they're obviously, these guys are the top dogs. Why do you need to show them beating people who aren't top dog?
Yeah. So, one of the flaws I had with it, I think a couple of you guys did too, was the acting felt a little amateurish at times.
Yeah. I think I said this sort of in the Giver review, but I thought some of these kids were better at their emotional scenes rather than their usual like just normal talking scenes.
Yeah.
Like there are a couple characters that do have emotional backgrounds, which I thought they had better scenes than where they're just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you had a problem with the main coach.
Yeah, I thought the coach himself felt really stiff, and I don't think that he was the right man for the role.
You said there was a miscasting.
Right. I honestly think Matthew McConaughey would have been great for this role. There's no way they could afford it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
he's all Oscar bait now.
They're really begging like people to see this movie. Like they were handing out free passes
Right.
to another screening outside of our screening.
Yeah, but just the coach, he felt so forced. He just felt like the generic, we gotta do it by the book.
Yeah.
It's all brotherhood and love and
And speaking of that,
brotherhood.
this movie is like seriously, literally, like 60% motivational speeches.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Like brotherhood, honor, we can win.
Right. If
It's
we,
like
if we
most
just
of this movie.
believe in our family, we can make the touchdowns.
Which we're not saying those are good values, but they're just hit with such a hallmarkish.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really are. And these motivational speeches that keep happening, I mean, they're done reasonably well, but you just like you're just like
There's
sad
a
after-
point where they're really just cramming it in you.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of feel like the movie would have been a lot better if they would have shown either more football scenes, more just
Just
football.
amazing,
hard-hitting football scenes.
hard
Exactly.
hitting. That would have been just super entertaining.
Right.
That would have. I mean, if maybe it felt like an NBA highlight. Wow.
NBA highlights.
I'm sorry.
NFL.
NFL highlight. When you said something about the basketball movie, it got me.
NFL.
Space Jam.
And, okay, it could have felt like an NFL highlights, but that still would have been more
And
entertaining.
it was well
than-
filmed, yeah.
Yeah, than
Right.
all the motivational speeches. They could have either done more football, or they could have done more backstory. More backstory. Either one. would
But
have
not
been
more
entertaining.
motivational speeches.
If I were to set this film up, I would have honestly had the entire film be on that last game. The
Yeah.
night before, and if that were the entire movie with just more details of that game, it would have been incredible.
How
Yeah.
long was this movie? First of all?
I think it was 30 hours.
I would've-
It felt like
liked-
2 hours.
I would have liked an hour and 45 football game.
Yeah, that would have. That
by the director who did the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the second last game, of course, we all know that
Which-
wasn't as good.
That
Honest-
was a different director.
It had to.
It was like Michael Bay to like
Yeah?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Right. Okay.
I mean, the thing is, the second game, like, it's not that it was filmed poorly or anything. It's just you
Fine.
put all your energy into that last game.
Yeah,
You're like,
and
oh,
then-
this is it. This is where they're doing it, and then
This
it just
is-
keeps
this-
going.
this
I'm so
This
hyped.
is it.
This is why we're
This is it.
This is truly where the game stands tall.
Exactly.
And then oh wait,
Falls
well,
flat.
There's more.
There's more.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
shoot, we missed my 6 o'clock.
one thing that I feel like that's important to talk about, because as I've said, the biggest theme in this movie is, you know, they all have their struggles and they come together through football. How do you guys think all the backstories were established with the kids and all their struggles? You think they had good backstories?
Out of how would you say the story focuses on 5 or 6 kids?
About so, yeah.
There were only, I think, only a couple kids that had their backstory explained. I think 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were just some characters we were left wondering, oh, who is this person? Oh, I guess we'll never know.
But
Exactly.
do you think characters who had backstories were well done though?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it was much more preferable than the ones who didn't.
Yeah.
I think the most entertaining one for me was I forgot what his name was. It
Right.
was the guy
who was trying to get the touchdown record?
Yeah.
No. Well, that one was very entertaining, but for some reason the car scene with the dad and the kid.
Yeah.
That was a little. It felt a little. act-
A little melodramatic.
Yeah, but that guy who was trying to get the full ride into
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
That guy
And
was
his brother.
lost everyone except for his brother. I thought that was a very.
That guy was great.
He was great.
I thought it was good, but I thought they should have showed more of him. You know,
He
it was
should've
just,
been
it was just
movie.
kind of peppered in. You know.
But I think what they showed was good enough for me.
Yeah.
To like the character enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know if we should make a note of this, but there is a real Christian undertone
Yes,
to the movie.
of course. I mean, it's a football.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Football is mainly like when you think of football, the most on a stereotypical level. It's Texas. It's Bible. It's
Yeah.
But I mean, they just do show a lot of the team praying together and reciting.
which was nice.
I mean, it's not really religion undertones. It's just that
It's the team.
Yeah.
It's based on a true story. The team actually did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I thought that was more of a little like team connection.
right.
Like you can.
And I guess it's just another way to show of how well they're really a family.
I didn't really
Yeah.
mind it, honestly.
I didn't either, but it's just something to take into consideration when you're going to go see it.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
So I thought the backstories were done pretty well. My personal favorite wasn't really a backstory, but just something that was happening in the kid's personal life. Was the one kid, Chris, who was trying to set the quarterback record.
Right,
And
for
his-
the most touchdowns in their state, I believe.
Yeah, and his dad was really pushing him to get it, and it was clearly just for him, like living through his child. I thought that was done really well, actually.
Yeah, and then Alex, you said the car scene where they're just facing each other. It's like, you're gonna get that touchdown you're gonna get it for me, and I want it. And it did look a little forced.
Yeah.
Like again, melodramatic.
Not that the teen actor was a bad actor. I've seen him in other movies, and he's relatively good.
Lone
Right.
Survivor. He was in that.
Yeah, he was really good in Lone Survivor, but in that one didn't see.
Yeah.
It was fine.
All right. So I think we've covered the main points. John, what is your rating?
Well, I mean, I honestly wasn't crazy about this movie. Their acting was off at times. It was kind of poorly paced. Script was awkward, but there were some pretty good football scenes. It wasn't terrible. I think fans of football movies will enjoy it. So I'm going to give this movie a 2.6 out of 5 stars.
I was disappointed with this movie. I thought that it had potential to be a little bit more than it was. And it ended up being really mediocre, with the only saving grace really being the action scenes, which is why I'm giving it a 2.9.
Alex.
Well, I didn't expect the super low scores. I was pretty distracted during the movie just because.
Football.
No, there was a whole bunch of things going along.
Okay.
And I wasn't really super into it, super thinking about how I was going to review it. So I originally was thinking more of like a 3.5-ish.
Yeah.
But, after really thinking about the review, and how generic it is, I'm kind of thinking like a 2.9 to 3.
Right.
All right.
And I'm gonna follow you there with a flat 3, because the best parts of the movie are the action scenes. The acting was fine. What I did like was the backstory and how they dealt with that, but it's really just a generic football movie. That's all you're gonna get.
Yeah. So if you like generic football movies,
Go see this one.
go see this
You'll love
movie.
it. You'll love it.
So, do you guys plan to see this movie, or have you already seen it? Let us know in the comments. And what's your favorite sports movie ever? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great sports
Space
movies.
Jam.
Space Jam's a great sports movie. Also, remember to follow us on Twitter at Stubmasters. We tweet very frequently about movies and the movie industry and what's going on in our lives and when our reviews are coming out and stuff. So, all right. When the game stands tall, Stubmasters. I'm John.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ethan.
Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.